Hello, everyone. So, here comes the next part of our story, which we started yesterday, The Invisible Kingdom. So, now let's find out what were the riddles and how did Arav solve them. Arav had promised Princess Chandra that he would return. For an entire month, he thought about nothing else. He practiced solving puzzles, helped everyone in his village, and wondered what the three riddles of wisdom would be like. Then, at last, the night of the next moon arrived. Now, listen carefully. As the full moon rose high into the sky, Arav hurried back to the ancient stone ark. The silver lantern in his hands glowed brighter than ever. When the moonlight touched the ark, the crystal gate slowly appeared once again. Princess Chandra was waiting for him. She smiled with relief. You came back. Arav nodded confidently. I gave you my word. The princess smiled. Then let the journey begin. She handed him a small crystal compass. This compass doesn't point north, it always points towards wisdom. The needle immediately spun, then stopped. It pointed toward the deep northern forest. Arav and Princess Chandra walked for hours beneath enormous silver trees. Every leaf glowed softly in the moonlight. The forest was strangely silent. Suddenly, voices echoed all around them. Turn back. You cannot succeed. You are too young. The voices grew louder. Arav looked frightened. Who's speaking? Princess Chandra smiled gently. The forest of echoes repeats every fear hidden inside your heart. Arav took a deep breath. They are only my fears. The voices slowly faded away. The forest became peaceful again. The crystal compass glowed. Well done, said the princess. The first step towards wisdom is believing in yourself. Soon they reached the tallest tree in the entire forest. Its trunk was wider than a castle. Upon its highest branch sat an enormous snowy owl. His feathers shimmered silver. His golden eyes seemed older than time itself. This was the elder owl. Without opening his wings, he spoke. Welcome, young traveler. Many have come before you. None have answered correctly. Are you ready? Arrow swallowed nervously. Yes. The owl closed his eyes. The forest became completely silent. The elder owl spoke slowly. I become larger the more you share me. If you keep me only for yourself, I slowly disappear. What am I? Arrow thought carefully. Gold? The owl shook his head. No. Knowledge. Again, the owl shook his head. Arav became worried. Princess Chandra remained silent. She couldn't help him. Then, Arav remembered something his grandmother once said. A smile grows whenever it's shared. He smiled. The answer is kindness. The owl's eyes sparkled. Correct. Suddenly, thousands of glowing feathers floated into the sky. The giant tree bloomed with silver flowers. The crystal compass glowed brighter. The owl bowed respectfully. Your heart answered before your mind. You may continue. The compass now pointed toward a glowing river. Its water shimmered like liquid moonlight. The current made no sound. As Arav stepped closer, the river suddenly spoke. Traveler, only those who speak the truth may cross. The water rose, forming the face of an old woman. Before my riddle, you must answer one question honestly. What is your greatest fear? Arav became quiet. He could have said monsters, darkness, failure. Instead, he looked down. I'm afraid that I might fail everyone who believes in me. The river smiled. An honest heart is never weak. The water became calm. The river spirit spoke again. I can be broken without ever being touched. Once broken, I am difficult to repair. What am I? Arab immediately thought glass, rope, a mirror. None felt right. He closed his eyes. He remembered his parents, his friends, Princess Chandra, his village. Then he smiled. The answer is trust. The river sparkled brightly. Moonflowers bloomed along its banks. A beautiful crystal bridge slowly rose from the water. You have answered wisely, said the river spirit. Cross the cross with courage. As Arav crossed the crystal bridge, something magical happened. The silver lantern became brighter. Its light spread across the kingdom. Far away, frozen flowers slowly began blooming. A few statues blinked. Birds began singing again. The curse was already becoming weaker. Princess Chandra smiled with tears in her eyes. For the first time in 500 years, hope is returning. Beyond the river stood the tallest mountain Arab had ever seen. Its peak touched the clouds. Thousands of tiny stars floated around it like glowing butterflies. The compass stopped glowing. It had led them to the final destination. Princess Chandra looked at Arab. Beyond this mountain lives the star keeper. He guards the last riddle. No one knows what it will be. Arav looked toward the sparkling mountain. He tightened his grip on the silver lantern. Whatever it is, I'll face it. The stars above twinkled brightly, as if they had been waiting for him. The path up Star Mountain was unlike any road Arav had ever seen. The rocks shimmered like crystal. Tiny stars floated around like glowing butterflies. Every step he took made a gentle musical sound. Princess Chandra walked beside him. The silver lantern glowed brighter with every step. Halfway up the mountain, the wind suddenly became cold. Dark clouds gathered overhead. The stars disappeared one by one. Arav looked worried. What is happening? Princess Chandra whispered, the mountain is testing your courage. Arav took a deep breath and continued climbing. Soon the clouds parted, the stars returned, the path became clear once again. At the very top of the mountain stood an ancient observatory made entirely of crystal. Its roof was open to the night sky. Thousands of stars slowly circled about. In the center stood an old man wearing robes woven from straight starlight. His beard sparkled like silver mist. His eyes contained entire galaxies. He held a long staff crowned with a glowing star. Princess Chandra bowed respectfully. Greetings, Starkeeper. The old man smiled kindly. Welcome, Princess. Then he looked at Arab. So, the moon has finally chosen her traveler. Arab bowed. I have come to save the invisible kingdom. The Starkeeper nodded. Many have spoken those same words. Only one has ever reached this place. The Starkeeper waved his staff. Suddenly, the night sky transformed into countless floating images. Arav saw kings sitting upon golden thrones, rich merchants counting mountains of treasure, powerful warriors carrying shining swords. One by one, the images faded into darkness. The new images appeared. The mother feeding a hungry child, a boy helping an old man cross a river, a girl painting trees, friends sharing their last piece of bread. These images glowed brighter than the others. The star keeper smiled. Do you understand? Aram nodded slowly. The first people became famous. The second became unforgettable. The star keeper's eyes sparkled. Exactly. The entire mountain became silent. Even the wind stopped blowing. The stars gathered together, forming a great glowing circle above Arab. The star keeper raised his staff. Then he spoke. I have no voice, yet I can inspire songs. I have no hands, yet I can build kingdoms. I cannot be bought, but once earned, I live forever. What am I? Arab closed his eyes. He thought about gold, power, love, wisdom. None of them felt complete. He remembered the elder owl, the river of truth, Princess Chandra, his grandmother, his village, the frozen kingdom. Then he smiled. He opened his eyes. The answer is hope. The star keeper remained silent. Then he smiled gently. A beautiful answer, but not the right one. Arav's heart sank. The star keeper walked toward Arav. Do not answer with your mind. Answer with everything your journey has taught you. Arav looked down. He thought about every person he had helped, every lesson he had learned, every promise he had made. Then he remembered something Princess Chandra had said. The kingdom remembers kindness. Suddenly, everything became clear. He looked up. The answer is a good deed, kindness itself. One act of kindness can inspire songs, build kingdoms, and live forever in people's hearts. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the entire sky exploded with light. Thousands upon thousands of stars shone brighter than ever before. The star keeper smiled proudly. You have answered correctly. A powerful beam of moonlight descended from the heavens. It surrounded Arav. The silver lantern burst into brilliant light. Far below, the invisible kingdom began to change. The silent fountains started flowing. The frozen flowers boomed. Birds flew joyfully through the sky. People slowly opened their eyes. Children laughed for the first time in 500 years. Bells rang throughout the kingdom. Princess Chandra watched with tears of happiness. It's happening! The curse is breaking. Just as everything seemed peaceful, the sky suddenly grew dark. A cold wind swept across the mountain. A deep voice echoed through the hills. No! Black smoke rose from the valley. It swirled together, taking the shape of a tall figure wearing a dark cloak. His eyes burned like red fire. Princess Chandra gasped. Varunak, the evil sorcerer, had returned. Though weakened, his magic still remained. He laughed loudly. You solved the riddles, but the final choice is still yours, boy. Will you save the kingdom or save yourself? Arav looked confused. What do you mean? Varunak pointed towards the glowing lantern. To destroy my curse forever, you must give up the moon lantern. Without it, you'll never again find the magical kingdom. Princess Chandra looked down sadly. She knew it was true. The lantern was the only bridge between Arav's world and theirs. Arav held the lantern tightly. It had guided him, protected him, given him hope. If he surrendered it, he would never see Princess Chandra or the invisible kingdom again. He quietly looked toward the kingdom below. Children were laughing, families were waking, birds were singing. He smiled. Then, without hesitation, he placed the silver lantern on the ground. A kingdom is more important than one traveler. The lantern glowed brighter than the moon itself. So, my dear, Aram had made the greatest sacrifice of all. Without hesitation, he placed the magical moon lantern on the ground, choosing the happiness of an entire kingdom over his own wishes. Would that one selfless act finally break the ancient curse? Listen carefully because this is the most magical part of the story. The silver moon lantern rested quietly upon the crystal floor. Its soft glow slowly became brighter, brighter, until it shone like a second moon. The light spread across the star mountain. It flowed into the rivers. It climbed the tallest towers. It reached every corner of the invisible kingdom. Every flower boomed. Every fountain danced. Every frozen clock began ticking again. The kingdom, silent for 500 years, took its first breath. The stars above sparkled brighter than ever before. The dark sorcerer, Varanak, staggered backward. His black cloak fluttered in the wind. The light of the moon lantern weakened his magic. Still, he raised his staff one last time. Dark clouds gathered. Lightning flashed across the sky. He shouted, kindness is weakness. Power belongs to those who take, not to those who give. The star keeper calmly stepped forward. No, Varanak. Power taken by force disappears. Power earned through kindness lives forever. Varanak laughed. Words cannot defeat magic. The star keeper looked toward Arav. Perhaps not, but a pure heart can. Varanak prepared one final spell. Dark shadows swirled around him. Princess Chandra stepped back. The kingdom trembled. Arav could have attacked. He could have wished for Varanak to disappear forever. Instead, he kept quiet, walked toward the frightened old sorcerer. Everyone watched in surprise. Arav gently lowered his head. I am not your enemy. You have lived with anger for hundreds of years. You must be very lonely. Varanak froze. No one, not in 500 years, had ever spoken to him with kindness. His hands began to shake. The dark magic around him slowly faded. A single tear rolled down his face. I only wanted people to respect me. Ara smiled. Respect cannot be forced, it is earned. The moon goddess appeared in the night sky. She was surrounded by thousands of glowing stars. Her voice echoed softly across the kingdom. The greatest magic has always been compassion. She lifted her hand. The last traces of darkness disappeared. Varnak's staff crumbled into silver dust. His black cloak transformed into simple white robe. The hatred that had lived inside his heart for centuries vanished. He fell to his knees. Can I ever be forgiven? Princess Chandra smiled warmly. Every sunrise is a chance for a new beginning. The people of the kingdom welcomed him, not as a sorcerer, but as a man who had finally found peace. That night, the invisible kingdom celebrated like never before. Golden lanterns floated into the sky. Children laughed and danced. Musicians played joyful melodies. The fountain sparkled with silver water. Every home glowed with moonlight. Princess Chandra placed a beautiful silver medal around Arav's neck. It was shaped like a tiny full moon. You came here searching for a mystery, she said. Instead, you gave us our future. The people cheered. Long live our friend from Earth! Arav smiled shyly. As dawn slowly approached, the moon goddess appeared once more. Arab, she said gently, the invisible kingdom no longer needs to hide. The curse is broken, but the doorway between our worlds cannot remain open forever. Arab looked at Princess Chandra. Does that mean I have to leave? She nodded sadly. Our words must follow different paths. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Finally, Princess Chandra handed Arab a small crystal pendant shaped like a crescent moon. Whenever you look at the full moon, remember that you'll always have friends in the kingdom beyond the light. Arav held the pendant close to his heart. The crystal gates slowly appeared once again. Arav stepped through them. As the first rays of sunlight touched the sky, the gates faded into shimmering mist. He found himself standing beneath the old stone arch where his journey had begun. The magical kingdom was gone. The forest looked ordinary again. Birds sang cheerfully. The breeze carried the sweet fragrance of flowers. For a moment, Arav wondered if it had been a dream. Then he looked down. The crescent moon pendant still rested in his hand. He smiled. It had all been real. Years passed. Arav grew into a wise, kind young man. He became known throughout the land, not because he was rich or powerful, but because he always helped those in need. He built schools for children, he planted trees along rivers, he cared for travelers and strangers. People often asked, where did you earn such kindness? Ara would simply smile. From some very special friends beneath the light of the full moon. Every full moon night, he climbed the same little hill near his village. He would look toward the silver sky. Sometimes, just for a moment, he thought he could see a distant castle shining among the clouds, and one tiny figure standing on a crystal balcony smiling back. Grandma looked lovingly at her grandchildren. Outside the window, the full moon glowed softly. A gentle breeze rustled the trees. Grandma whispered, my dear, many people think magic lives in enchanted castles, or magical lanterns, or hidden kingdoms. She gently placed her hand on the child's head. But the greatest magic lives inside every kind heart. Kindness can break curses, heal old wounds, turn enemies into friends, and bring light even to the darkest night. So, the moral is the greatest magic in the world is a kind heart that chooses forgiveness, courage, and compassion. So, this is the story of our invisible kingdom. I hope you liked it.